working hard, and it's mostly on the engine, right? On the simulation engine. So this is a video. So can you just quickly pause right now so that I can introduce this before it goes further?
No problem.
So basically, we have rewritten a lot of the parts of the engine of the architecture, or improved, in order to get the maximum performance out of the sim, and minimum, I would say, resource or memory or bandwidth footprint. So we haven't finished doing all the tests. So I mean, in PC, it's a very complex world, so I can't say everybody's gonna get this much frame rate or whatever. So today, in order to give an example of how much improvements you can expect, the video just simply shows my dev computer, right? It's my machine. You have the specs on screen, exactly what I'm running. So it's ultra detailed. It's upraised in 4K because my graphic board isn't capable of going full 4K at high frame rates. And I'm doing about the same flight. It's real flying, just conditions. And you will see the difference in frame rate between the first and the second flight, which is really approximately the same pace. So voila, it's Manhattan, and you can see it's around 35, 40 frames. It goes down a little bit later because we're coming closer to a heavily loaded area. It goes down to 35 and 32 even. And let's also stop on the system data, which I'm putting up. It's is it a little bit later? I'm 5 seconds delayed. Just yeah, when it's very important system information. When is it coming?
There we go.
Voilà. So as you can see, sorry, it's in French, but you can see that the processor is 100% occupied in Sim Update 4, and the GPU isn't fully working. Sometimes it's even only 50%, 75%. So we did two forms of improvements: a lot of CPU optimization and re-architecturing and moving around things, and some GPU improvements too, right? So you will see on the next video the impact of this, but here clearly, and also look at the memory. It was using 27 gigs on my computer. So 27 gigs for Ultra in Manhattan, 100% CPU occupation, and 75 GPU. And so let's.
And maybe you can talk a bit about also the stuttering that can be seen on the.
Yeah, and you can see on the frame rate, it's there's a lot of red, right? So there's a lot of stutters. Yeah. And so this is Sim Update 5. So exactly same computer, same day, same configuration. Everything's the same. So frame rate is at the beginning it's a solid 60. It goes down to where it slowed down on the other version to 35, slows down to 50-ish, something 59, 50, 58. Stutter is almost gone. You will see also, so you can already see here a little bit the simulation only uses 4.7 gigs. So you will see it on the system. It's a bit more because, well, there's the rest of the system which is running, and I actually have the compiler open, so it's a lot more in the system. So let's pause on the system very quickly. So here you can see the GPU is 100%, and the CPU is 75% only. So it totally moved over the work, and now the CPU is free, so you can even run other stuff in the background, which is not gonna make your sim stutter anymore. And you can see the memory of the system is down to 14 gigs, and the sim is down from 16 gigs something to 4.7. And frame rate, yeah, is 54 here in this case, where it's really hard for the system. You can see that so I balanced it between GPU and CPU. It's really the GPU which is more loaded because of the buildings in the background, but completely stutter free. On my computer, it's up by 20 frames, I would say, per second, 20 to 30 frames per second, and yeah, 25% CPU free on the system.
That's awesome. It's really cool to see a side-by-side comparison like this. Do you have anything that you could say about VR frame